Did you know that not all investors are created equally or even treated equally? Here in the US, there's a class of investors that you may have never even heard of. And guess what? That's where all the big money is. Now you have the chance to hear about it next in the Secrets of the 1%. Hi, my name is Amelia Thomas, the managing partner at Empire Capital Ventures. We help first-generation millionaires generate nine figures in wealth through advanced tax planning and wealth management. In this episode, we're going to focus on what it means to become an accredited investor. If you have been investing in the stock market for years and thought you knew everything there was to know, but you have never heard of an accredited investor, this show is for you. An accredited investor are those investors who meet certain financial benchmarks to determine whether they are qualified to invest in certain deals that are not available to the public. And guess what? Advisors are not even allowed to tell you about those deals if you are not an accredited investor. An accredited investor must meet the following criteria. They must be an investor that has a net worth of $1 million and above, or they have $200,000 in gross income for the last 2 years, with the expectation to have it in the third year. And if they're married filing jointly, that number increases from $200,000 to $300,000. When you start positioning yourself in certain circles, you really start to understand how wealth is really defined here in America. You also realize very quickly that all of those stocks, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds are for people with little to no financial acumen. There are thousands of financial advisors who have also never heard the term accredited investor. That is exactly how Wall Street wants it. What are some examples of investments for accredited investors? You have the opportunity to invest in hedge funds, venture capital deals, private equity, private real estate deals, all of the oil and gas opportunities, conservative easements, and there are thousands more opportunities in the marketplace. Many of you may be wondering, why have you never heard of this potential opportunity? Well, as I told an audience that I spoke to at a recent event, I could not even share the potential opportunities because general investment conversations regarding deals that require investors to be accredited are not allowed. In fact, it is flat out illegal to have those conversations without qualifying the person that you're speaking to or the audience for that event. So how do you become an accredited investor? First, in a traditional financial setting, you would have to have a relationship with a financial advisory firm that offers such opportunities for investments. However, all advisors of that firm are not eligible to solicit investors to participate in such offerings. Second, you can start to network outside of your traditional circles. When you become an intentional networker, you will quickly be able to identify certain individuals who can invite you to the room to participate in these types of conversations. Third, consider joining a local angel investor group. This is a great way to build the foundation to learn deal making, valuation, life cycles of businesses that are either acquired or go public. Lastly, due to the Jobs Act of 2012, you now have deals available at your fingertips through various equity crowdfunding portals. You will have to verify that you are a qualified person before being granted access to the investment deals in that portal. But remember, I told you that information is really top level. Here's why. It is the mission of the Securities and Exchange Commission as an independent federal government agency to protect investors. You may know the income inequality and wealth gap continues to increase in the United States. And when analyzed by race, Black people in America are the most disproportionately affected. We have been donating and contributing resources for years to local communities, churches, YMCAs to help level the economic playing field with very little return on our investments. Imagine the impact if we are able to build economic hubs in cities all across the country while you, the investor, are still benefiting and growing your net worth. This is very possible and should be explored if you want to have a realistic conversation regarding decreasing the racial wealth gap in America. If you are imagining the possibilities, allow me to give you something to ponder. Have you ever wondered how immigrants are able to come to the United States and after a few short years, they are completely dominating a certain industry, field, or even community? There is a provision in our immigration laws called EB-5. This law allows immigrants who are seeking to come to the United States a visa where they must invest $1 million in an active business venture and hire 10 people in that community. And these investments are targeted employment area investments that could potentially be reduced to even $500,000. These investments are traditionally done through immigrant investor regional centers. As of August 18, 2018, there were approximately 1,400 centers in the U.S. that are pooling the resources from these investors and placing them into accredited investor type deals that are subsequently investing in stadiums, skyscrapers, hospitals, senior living communities, you name it. Imagine the opportunities if we weren't paying taxes legally and using those funds in the same manner as the immigrants. To recap, there is an entire class of investors you may have never heard of called accredited investors. These are typically high net worth individuals and companies with the means and experience to trade private, riskier investments. Again, we've only covered the basics here. And I know you want more secrets, but you have to be an insider to find out. If you want to go deeper, head over to weeklywealthreport.com or scan the QR code on your screen. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amelia Thomas, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Secrets of the 1%.
The Convo, your home for conversations on Black entrepreneurship and wealth, available on your favorite platforms.